You actually recording me?
Yep.
All right, we are going to do an Animas Ping insulin pump site change. So this is her pump, and it's got the cord attached from her last site change. So I'm going to start with taking that all out and show you kind of how it goes. So we take the black cap off and pull the cartridge straight out, and this all goes in the trash except for the black cap. So take the cap off and set it aside. And then all of this is garbage. In order to do a site change, you're going to need, that's telling us that she doesn't have any insulin going right now. This is her cartridge and her pump site. And then you'll need a couple alcohol swabs and insulin. So first thing you're going to do is go into the menu. And the menu looks like that. And you're going to scroll all the way down to Prime Rewind and hit OK. And it's going to give you a little checklist. And so you're going to go from the very top and you're going to follow the directions in the checklist. So the first one is rewind, and you're going to hit OK. And it says go rewind. It says make sure that the insulin set is disconnected from your body, so she shouldn't be getting any insulin right now. So you're going to hit OK, and you can hear it buzzing. And that's getting the plunger all the way back and ready for a new cartridge. So while that happens, we're going to fill her new cartridge with insulin. So in order to do that, we have to open her site and the new cartridge. Do that just by peeling off the tabs. Inside the cartridge thing, you have a needle that's got a cap on it, you've got a little plunger, and you have the cartridge. So you're going to assemble it by putting the plunger down and twisting on the needle. And then you're going to want to plunge up and down a couple of times just to kind of loosen it to make it easier to draw the insulin up. Take an alcohol swab, wipe the end of the insulin container just to make sure that there's no germs on it, and then you'll uncap the needle. Big needle, don't stab yourself, I've done that. You're going to stick it in and then flip it upside down. This cartridge can hold up to 200 units. Right now she's getting about 20 units a day, so we fill it up to the 1 line. I don't know if you can see it. So about halfway, a little more, a little less, not a big deal. You want to make sure there's no bubbles inside the cartridge, because if she gets a bubble, it's less insulin that she's getting when she needs the insulin that you're dosing. And you just take the insulin out, recap the needle off, little plunger off, and those are both trash. Set those aside. So the insulin pump has stopped buzzing, which means it's rewound all the way. So the next step is going to be to load the cartridge. So you're going to pull this cap off and unwind the tubing all the way. Okay, you don't pull it too hard or you'll actually pull the pump site out. Got this black cap with the bigger end up and then screwed onto the cartridge. Okay? Then you're going to go back into the menu. So this is what the original screen looks like. I didn't show you that. So you're going to hit menu, and then you're going to go down to Prime Rewind again. And if you look at the menu, now it's got the checklist, and the only thing that is marked in is rewind, because that's the only step that you've done. So you need to go to load cartridge and hit OK. And then it says rewind is complete. Load U100 cartridge, which is this, attach cap and select continue. So you're going to push it in. It just kind of pops in there. And then you screw on the black cap, and you need to make sure it's pretty tight on there. Okay, so I can't turn it anymore. So it looks like that. And then you're going to hit continue. And now the plunger is getting up to find where the insulin level is. Sariah. So the next thing that we're going to be doing is getting ready to put it on her. Sariah, can you come here so we can get ready? are we gonna do belly or are we gonna do leg? It's up to you. Leg? Alright, so she's gonna sit down and you pick whichever one. It's up to you. Okay, we're gonna do her belly. Okay, so it tells you on here that be sure that this is still disconnected, so we haven't put this on her at all. And it tells you how much insulin we loaded, so we loaded a little less than 100, which is fine. And then it's going to tell you to continue. And the next thing is to prime. Mommy, yes, and priming is basically just filling the tubing from the cartridge that's filled with insulin. So you're going to fill the tubing with insulin. In order to do that, there's a little teeny tiny blue cap on top of the needle that you just take off and discard. And then you're going to hold this upside down, and it says Go Prime. Mommy, out in there. I see my pieces. Okay, so in Prime, you're going to hit Go Prime, and you actually have to hold it down while you're doing this to fill the tubing, and you watch the end of the needle for a couple little drops to come out. Okay, so and you waste a couple units of insulin, that's not a big deal. So this tube is now completely filled with insulin, which means that when we give her her first dose of insulin with the new site, it's going to be ready. Okay, so the last thing on there, so now on our checklist, 3 of the 4 things have been filled in. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is actually put the site on her. So on here, there's a small little tab with a white, like a sticker backing, basically, that you just peel off of here. We're going to do a belly pump site. We're doing belly or leg? We're doing leg. We're doing a leg pump site. Okay, pick whichever side you want. It's up to you. You can turn your body this way and sit that direction. There we go. Okay, and so you're going to take your other alcohol swab that you haven't used, and you're going to clean the area. And I always clean a whole lot more of an area than you really need, just because. Here or doing here? Okay. And we do pump sites on right here, baby. On her thighs, on her belly, and on her back, kind of in her love handle area. So those are the 3 areas we do. You can also do the arm, but she doesn't really like doing the arms yet, so we haven't done that. We know that if she's on her leg, then the pump tubing, when we put it on, needs to be pointed up, because the pump is going to be hanging from her pants, where if it's on her belly or her back, the pump tubing needs to be down, because it would be on her belly hooking onto her pants. It's not a big deal if that doesn't happen right. It just makes it a little easier and she gets less tangled.
I was at Grammy's with her.
That's alright. Okay, so we have the leg cleaned and everything, and then now we're going to put the pump site on. If you look on the edge of this, it's kind of hard to see. There's 2 finger holds that are smooth and 2 finger holds that are bumpy. We're going to hold the finger holds that are bumpy. We're going to grab hold of this. We're going to pull it until it pops. Okay, so if you hold it, it's going to pop. It's going to click. Okay, and then we're going to put this up against her leg, and we're going to put our fingers on the smooth parts with it up against her leg. And when we do it, it pops, and that's how it inserts. Okay, come sit. Stop. You want to stand to do it or sit to do it? Gotta do this, baby. Okay. All right, so we're doing the pump tubing.
Today. We could have done it tomorrow.
All right, so we've got the pump tubing facing up, and we're going to count to 3. 1, 2, 3, and we do it. Okay, and so now it's in, and we put our finger kind of in the middle, and it's a little hard to see, in the middle of it, and I push, and I count to 3 kind of in my head. 1, 2, 3. It just helps the sticky part stick. And then I hold underneath it with a finger and then pull this straight out. Okay? So now the needle, I fold it under just because this is too big for a regular sharps container, and then this can go straight into the regular trash can. And then the last thing that we need to do is go back to our menu. And we're going to go back down to the Prime Rewind And the last thing that's on there is to fill cannula. The cannula is the small clear tube that is actually in her skin now, which is what the insulin comes, basically like an IV kind of catheter. Okay, so we're going to hit fill cannula, and she gets 0.30 units, which is about how much she gets for her hourly automatic doses. So we basically just give her bolus. So you're going to up arrow to get to 0.30, and then you hit go, and it's going to deliver it, and then we're done. And I hit the up and down arrows to lock, just so no buttons get pushed, and then this hooks onto her shorts or her pants or whatever it is that she's wearing, and then we are done.
I'm wearing a skirt.
See you later. Graham says later.